Shriya Soha O Namo Manjo Shriya Nama So Shriya Nama O Dhamma Shriya Soha. Sangye Chuzo Magishla.
Yeah.
Refuge and Bodhicitta prayer. So today is the first class, so we're going to offer a requesting mandala. So Gishla said we just recite the short one, so short mandala offering prayer, together with a request to turn the wheel of Dharma.
Before Kishila start, Kishila, I want to say some word. First of all, LDC, welcome everybody back to the 2022 Dharma teaching series. And for the basic program student, we welcome you and old and new students. We are very happy that more than 70 people have registered to the part 2 of the mind and cognition module for the BP. We have finished awareness and knower. Now we are going to start mind and mental factor. For those who are non-basic program, we are very happy that you are attending this teaching on every Tuesday, and on Saturday, please do join with the Middle Lang Lamrim as well. So we want to thank Geshe-la for being with us for another next 3 years to teach us the students in Malaysia and Indonesia and Australia. Maybe more countries will join us to this wonderful Dharma teaching. So, and we certainly want to thank Kaudenla for making this online teaching possible, from Sarah, from the beautiful house of Geshe-la. And many of you know that many of you actually contributed to this realization of the beautiful home for Geshe-la in Sarah J. So with that, I'll pass it back to Ken and Geshe-la. Thank you.
그쪽에 계실라.
야야.
아소.
다들이 가서 러사바 라 진짜 도망고 지야 돼. 가서 도망 꾸노도 개천 보시라선가 가서 꾸노 지야다. 안드스치 문도 드스친가 있어.
So today is the first class of this year. So it's very important to set the motivations at the very beginning. So I would like to say about setting motivation.
다 간다 돈탄이라 샤와니 가서 도마 꾸노지야 단줄라 오아치야 개천 보차고. 다 문시디야 보차마차 가서 꾸노도라. 라리와 선자 다 도망가서 무슨 꾸노지는 맞지 이러이로.
Yeah, so we always talk about do two things, one at each time. So one at the beginning and one at the end. So at the beginning is to set the motivations, and at the end is to do dedications. So whether our actual practice becoming good or not, it depends on the motivation. So therefore, it's very important to set a good motivation.
나 도마 동해진나 있은게 되다 탕지 다기 센데 만원씩 거딩 친구 샤다니 마마지 버지자메 마시발라 당지 못잡아니 링기리 만드나 대완데자 랑도 콜로지마기 등에 바히 용안에 대가 끼지자문데 다 딩게지 만드나 베지 피슨 서버가 되나 점마로 덴바 주지 덴바 다베샤 대다시니 발라마라 신진도 소 스나토스 샴바고야 상치당하셨어.
So to set a motivation, first we think about that all suffering sentient beings have been our mothers, and they have been our mothers for numberless times. They are as kind as the mothers of this life. Though all kind mother sentient beings want happiness and do not want suffering, due to not knowing the object of abandonment and adoptions, they continuously create a karma that bring forth the result of suffering. So in our mind, sincerely generate loving kindness towards all suffering mother sentient beings. That how nice if all kind mother sentient beings had happiness. May all kind mother sentient beings have happiness. I will cause all kind mother sentient beings to have happiness.
링기리 만드나지 리지 니나타 중화시 내발라서 만지 리지 문디비 초 타다 때나 점마로 라와 지지 타와 다게셔 디다시니 발라마레 신지도 소스 당아서 니게 관다.
Next, we cultivate compassion toward all suffering mother sentient beings. So first, we think, how nice if all suffering mother sentient beings were free from physical sufferings, free from physical sickness, free from physical pain that caused by imbalance of four elements, and etc. So may all mother sentient beings be free of all physical pain.
나 동아지 나이 kunji 만드나지 이진 이다기 능에다 남도 타랑에 봐 타다다 때는 뼈마루 라와 지지 라와 다비셔 대다시니 발라마라 신지도 소스 치산다.
And how nice if all mother sentient beings' mind be free of all sufferings, free of all unhappiness, and free of subtle and coarse conceptions. So may all mother sentient beings' mind be free of all unhappiness, sufferings, and subtle and coarse conceptions. So I will cause all mother sentient beings' mind be free of all sufferings. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so.
어디 이제 굉장히 많은 아직 나도 지나서 마징 엠바 타라다 좀 좀 자와 지지 자와 다게셔 대다시니 발라만의 신길로도 소스 어떻게 상담.
And may all sentient beings' speech be free of all negativities, such as lying, harsh speech. I will cause all other sentient beings' speech be free of all negativities. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so.
어디 이제 너디나 굉장히 많은 아주 고선지 문티비 초 타라다 좀 좀 자와 지지 자와 다게셔 대다시니 발라만의 신길로도 소스 상담.
In brief, may all sentient beings' tridos be free of all adversities. I will cause all sentient beings' tridos to be free of all adversities. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so.
어디 이제 굉장히 많은 코어당에서 그 동안 링게 쓰나 보고도 쓰는게 녀라라 보지 다디 내가서 양다바서 베산지지 공부하는 게 이밤에 단 이밤에 쓰나에서 양다바서 베산지라 예비 됐으면 이제 탄지된 산지지 공부하는 거지 찌내자 토바 샤오 냠비 창주시 생공셨어.
Next, we cultivate bodhicitta. So first, we ask ourselves who should take the responsibility to free all kind mother sentient beings from the sufferings of three lower realms and of whole samsara. I should take the responsibility to free all kind mother sentient beings to be free of the sufferings of three lower realms and of whole samsara. But I do not have the ability to do now. And only those who have achieved the state of enlightenment have the ability to do so. Therefore, for the sake of all sentient beings, I want, by all means, I want to become the Buddha.
이제서 이제 탄지된 산지지 공부하다가 샤오 냠비 메비 생군서 바디니 랑기니까 다이 친구 용수도 남바치 이게 대대에 된다. 최단계 랑기지 마두고 동반의 랑기 신이 로치도 지금 대단한 창주지 신데 다랑 랑기니까 다이 대에 된다. 도지 생아비 도지 까보 생아비 남바치도 된지지 상호지 당 탄친나주고 신치야지. 그와 탄친나주고 신치야지 있어.
That's all. So for the sake of all sentient beings, we generate all-encompassing yoga mind. So the conventional aspiring bodhicitta thinking, I will achieve the state of enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. So it transforms into a mundist, a complete mundist. And the ultimate bodhicitta, which is our mind, becoming in one taste with emptiness, which is lacking of all phenomena, lacking of inherent existence, and it transforms into a white five-pronged vajra on top of the mundis.
어디 이제 더 공부다 랑이 뛰다다데 강도야 마도 랑이 뛰고 동안이 사동반지 하나 주지 상당하셨어.
Next, we meditate on emptiness for a short while, that I do not exist intrinsically one with, nor intrinsically different from the aggregates. Thus, I do not exist intrinsically.
어디 이제 생각도 이제 탄지된데 산지 공부하다가 대지다 담비치 생명의 특이의 지진이 사도스 공부 지주셨어.
Yeah, so for the sake of all sentient beings, I want to become Buddha. For this purpose, I'm going to listen carefully to the holy teachings and practice accordingly.
Oh yeah, thank you. Đang ngã zo diri kanda tiya de diri sense tension ko rwa ta ju ju de ngã sense tension rwa.
Yeah, so today, the text that we're going to study is mind and mental factors.
Ta sense tension de kina ngã zo mambo rwa de di ka shi.
La, tanto komaru la.
This ale
De sim ju bichare.
Oh, ta sense tension de ngã zo thoma ngã zo ge tiya ge sense tension de ngã zo shong da de zo de ka chin hi jan zo. Ka chin hi jan zo ge ngã zo sense sonya de 지금 로아 디마시에 지나 다 상마 된다 지바로와 먼저 다 엔비엔티 조디 같이 장도 세세데 디마치고로와 다들이 이거서 로아.
So yeah, as recommended by FEMT, so we are going to use the text composed by Gyel-tsen Yishi Gyel-tsen, the mind and mental factors text composed by Gyel-tsen Yishi Gyel-tsen.
같이 이시 장세 용지 같이 이시 장세 두스 센서 로아 용지 같이 다 로지 디디 쉬와이나 같이 이시 장서다 간다 공사 쪽에 군디 제바 용지 잠베 장세 군디 제바 잠베 장서에 다 간다 용지 두스 나조지 렌도아 같이 이시 장서
잠베 쪽이 용지
잠베 장서의 용지 간다 용지 같이 이시 장서 두스 로르와 wata yongzi loya de kanda jawa kundi jeba ki kundi jeba jambe jansa ku yongzi rendwa.
Yeah, so Gyel-tsen Yishi Gyel-tsen, and we then you we always address Gyel-tsen Yishi Gyel-tsen as Yongzin Gyel-tsen Yishi Gyel-tsen. So we added Yongzin at the front of his name. So what does it mean by Yongzin is a tutor? So because he was the tutor of the 7th Dalai Lama Jambe Gyatso. So because he was the tutor of 7th Dalai Lama Jambe Gyatso, therefore his name was added Yongzin at the front. So Yongzin Gyel-tsen Yishi Gyel-tsen.
Kanda kachi hijanzo kepa sanji mochaba jirendwa. Da kanda kachin si lo mi taguyan sen sogaya de yunsen karisin rwa. Kachin si na nangji jidan sen la yishi janzo sarwa yishi janzo. Da kachin si sen sogaya yunsen karisina kachi sen sogaya yunsen yungzi yishi janzo kanda trashi limbo. Trashi limbo na kanda shungche kabe nga la pe lo ni jinen tarshimba. Shungche kabe nga la lo ni 수진의 진의 된 타르신의 생 형제 가병을 타신바들라 다다실림보 가다 가친스네 두슨 센소웨르스 가친스와 가친스와 다실림보나로 다 형제 가병을 로니 타르신바진의 디제서 뜻가친스는 센소군도와 어다딘 센소와 가서 댄사 손보이나 다 기실 하랑지 동고이나 다 하랑기 주대 형제 가병을 주대 참만 타르신바진의 대간다 대지라다 하랑기 시에신 센소거와 센소가 내가 나시르 샤스로 까친세 미다사데 드실림보날 베 현재 가뱅알라 러니지 대로니 타시니 된체나 까친세 미 도스 센소 아레 샤스로.
Yeah. So Yongzin Gyel-tsen Yishi Gyel-tsen was unbelievable scholars. So he was amazing. He was an amazing scholar. So his actual name is Yishi Gyatso. So why Gyel-tsen again added to his name is because at Tashilongpo, then he studied and completed studying 5 great texts or 5 great treatises at Tashilongpo, and because of his completion of studies, therefore he was granted the name Gyel-tsen. So Gyel-tsen Yishi Gyel-tsen. So just like in 3 great monasteries, so when those monks, they sit for the Haramba Geshe exam. So when they finish the 5 great treatises, then they were granted the name Haramba Geshe.
there is no conduct he janzo can say song get pinche loza he the tunda kanda rajun to the pinche loza he can send no do gachi he jan say se what ro
빈진 로상 예시기
o pinche loza he can do na kanda rajun dombalani da rajun do the rajun da change so ro ora de shwe say so the say song get pinche loza he shastro gachi he jan say se
예시기 센데 예시기 생기 네 디첸디 넘버로
o the number
빈진 로상 예시기
o pinche loza he o the number is
yeah. And Yeshi Gyatso ordained at the presence of Benjin Losang Yeshi, and he was granted the ordination name Yeshi Gyatsen.
나 이시 장제 간다 그 통사 요대가 라사가 년다라고 지르지와 라사다 타니 뭐지 배 가서 라사다 타니 뭐지와 사자가 민디 투이스나 인지지 사자 부스 다데 저놈의 이제 사자 민이 다데 신민도 로카본을 인도와
통유대로 이제라
뭐 통유대 배 디스 로카본을 인도 간다 라사다 타니 뭐라고 지르지와
맞소
라사다 타니 뭐 지르지와
Yeah, so his birthplace is near Lhasa. So and the name is in Tibetan, so a bit difficult to understand it. So however, his birthplace is near Lhasa.
뭐 들리려 들어와. 다 되는 가서 로진 따오디 인지지 자자 부도 진짜 풍사고 요든지 다 되잖아가 비스 라카보는
딘지 예시기 부도.
딘지 자자 부스진도 근데 지난 나요 라사야 지난 나 주시다요 말이 이나 사자도 참 미하고 싶네요. 뭐 디지 로카보는 들어와.
딘지기 사자
딘지 자장 부도.
사장 부도.
딘지 자자 부스 디지 로지도 딘지 들어와. 다들 나게 지나 라사야 지난 양이요 말이. 나다 동의 들어 저지 마들어와.
Yeah, so his birthplace was Tenji Sajam Buto. So something like this. So this is the name of the place where Yeshi Gyatsen was born. So near Lhasa, and then Geshe-la said that he himself doesn't know Lhasa so well.
다 간다 이야 삼바가보시 송도와 이야들라 간다 거신 시기 이야랑 삼바가보
Tsambakabo. And his father's name was called Tsambakabo.
양 삼바가보 용 체리 반조세 용 체리 반조
Tseripangzom.
체리 반조
And his mother's name was Tseripangzom.
다 든지 가서 로지 디디진 이러와 답에 로지 제기 제바 다 코니긴 나타서라 시나티 여러와 다 가서 디디지 지당 가서 같이 희장서 근제 센시주도 마치 지구디 다 간다 센시주 되게 정바보 되게 로지 디디지 다 간다 쉬고로와
So this is the brief his biography of the author of the text that we're going to study, Yeshi Gyatsen. So if you would like to know more about him, then you can look at his biography.
다 도망가서디 센시주게 엔제바다 딩골 말로와 다 비질라마 담방고 먼잠비야다 뭐 이에만 집이 샬라 뒤탄지도 장자기 자선 치고 제와 침부 탄지기 뒤탄지 예수도 소세 다 간단 잠비야다 뭐 이에만 집이 다 가다 라마나라 그래서 장사부도와 뭐 지마지 이래서와 당보디
So the introductions. So we start the text. So the introductions. I prostrate and go for refuge at all times at the feet of the holy venerable Guru, who is inseparable from the protector Manju Gosha. Please always take care of me with your great kindness. So basically here is pay homage to Lama, who is inseparable from Manjushri.
간다 랑게 샤와 기 샤와 나가 치디지 샤와 간디지 두고에나 다랑게 라마라 간다 소와타니 티 찬타니 쳐바 제바이나 다 신라 데를 하든 주바 메스랑게 라마레 하바 싸와니 요 마리에세 된다 디르와 도마 지진 잠비에다 예마치다랑 자이 라마라 쳐바 제트와
So why at the beginning of the text, the homage is paid to one's guru is because whatever actions that we do, especially those dharma activities and those virtuous actions. So before we engage in those actions, then we make supplication prayers to our guru and pay homage to our guru. And there is nothing better than this. So there is no rituals and there is no activities more superior to this. So by more superior to this, which is paying homage and making supplication prayers to one's lama.
타르친 바로 전화에서 희촌 타르친 바. 다 희지다 니두게 미바서 파상 상히. 그거 상에 다 최탄지 무슨도 돈 타신비. 이 시대 다 간다 줄라 연계. 다 로아 강가란 로아 신체 참말라 간다 디두게 란도 땡게 로아. 에 간다 란도 네마 세보 땡게. 그 템바 투동보. 템바 투동보라 지바 지군도와 이바든.
So, and the first verse that you have completed the two collections. So the two collections refers to the merits of merit and the merit of wisdom. So through the force of exalted compassions, you eliminated obscuring darkness. So obscuring darkness refers to two types of obscurations. One is afflictive obscurations. Another one is obscurations to omniscience. So someone who have eliminated do two types of obscurations and know all phenomena, then clarifying what you yourself have seen from migrating beings. So you're clarifying what you yourself have seen, and then you teach the migrating beings about the object of abandonment and the object of adoptions. So to Lord Muni, the Buddha Shakyamuni, I bow down, pay homage to Buddha Shakyamuni.
Rwa jayi jasa mahang kumbo sen jawa shambari rwa jawa shambari da jawa shambari kanda rwa la pende shamba ge ninji pe ni ta da kanda zini ke rwa jawa shambang go jayi jasa mahang go japsa rwa jasa lo rwa ti japsa lo ge bi jinsen de karesina da kanda sanji temba shote ba sanji ne gadi iga chinji ne shudi rwa da gadi iga chinji ne shuni de kanda zambali lama senje lama 펜바 주야다 된주야 대신은 잔이다 마 페우와 템바 템반 잔이라 페우디 다 가디 이가 친진노라 데 간다 자사도 시기 남버레스나 데 자와 샴방고 뭐 남버레로 가디 이가 친진로와 가디 이가 친 템바만 잔이라 마 페우로와 잠벌린들라 생지게 베 된주야 치는 잔이라 마 페우디 데 가디 이가 친진노 데 간다 자사데 데 자와 샴방고 뭐 나와 손자 데 자이 자사세 두선세 라고에 준지 되스레스와
So because the Jamba Gumbo de Sangene Royla. Sangene and the Gandhi Yiga Chulin La Shuni.
Dajatemba.
Dajatemba.
Dajatemba Sanje Sari Gadi Gachin Shuderwa. Gadi Gachin Shuni Tan Duala Kanda Pemba to the Duni Kala. Dajatemba T Jelaman Zambal in the Singila Tenda Duachin Zanilama Perwa. Then Zambalila Dijaba Penyanta Samadia, Sanji Kumbali and Guachit Ma Peri, Gadi Gachina. And Kanda Sushursina, that Jai something, the Jawa Shambang Moriesor, what Jatsal.
So the second verse is homage. The homage is paid to Protector Maitreya. So Protector Maitreya or Protector Maitreya. So due to your earnest single-pointed love for migrating beings, you are renowned as Protector Maitreya in all times to the region of the conqueror. So why is it called? Why Maitreya is called the region of the conqueror is because when Shakyamuni achieved the state of enlightenment, then he came to the world and then worked for the welfare of sentient beings. So, and who reside at the Ganden Yiga Chuling. So who resided at Tushita. So was the region of the conqueror, Maitreya.
Ages the Trevor, the Dewa Tipan in the room teaches that young chance of the Karsina. That the Jindu Choni Lewa, Jindu Choni Roa, that Jindu Choni, that dinner Kandang as Shinda Chimonis, Tomeluduni Dina Yoroa, or Jindu Choni Sangato, J2 de Kandang Gumbo Lududa, Papalarua, Gumbo Lududa Paban, Tani, 이 강라 간다 파바 토메다 이니니 디디강 디시디강라 주디 디강다 호비 쇼나다 최다니 호비 쇼나다 최다니로와 다 나지도스 우미지 공부르다 파발라 시그 우미지 다들 너무 것이 다들 성화의 질 헬레시구로와 같이 뭐만 지셔서 제가 지셔서 다 간다 제 도대 공부르다 파발라 니 대강라 간다 토메다 이니니 시로와 대강라 간다 전화 치다니 주대로와 주대 아 초니데 법배인데다下下有是 되니 좋아 초니
And next verse is about homage, is about paying homage to 6 ornaments and 2 supremes. So you have been predicted by the Sugata himself, then clarified the excellent systems of the profound and extensive. So then I prostrate to 6 ornaments and 2 supremes of Jambuvipa. So 6 ornaments and 2 supremes. So who are these 6 ornaments? So the first one is Nagarjuna and Ayadeva. The first 2, and the second pair is Asanga and Vasubandhu, and the third pair is Dignaga and Dhammakiti. So 6 ornaments are Nagarjuna, Ayadeva, Asanga, Vasubandhu, Dignaga, Dhammakiti. So these 6 are the 6 ornaments, and the 2 supremes refers to Gunaprabha and Shakyaprabha.
이게 다다 강로의 고리 용도에서 다들 지름 못되는와 이 올라 쳐가 다들어와 다 간다 인도지 공바 인데게 펜다도 빼미 제바나지 사도이라 야이 녀마다 선바다 덴디 파 나지 외스 나바 제바이나 덴디 나지 해봤단 장글라마 로산 타발라리도와 이제 차사사든
So next homage is paid to Lama Protector Manju Gosha. So Lama Protector Manju Gosha is Lama Tsongkhapa. So in this land surrounded by snow mountains, then worthy of praise, equal to the Sun Conqueror, I bow down to the Lama Protector Manju Gosha. So homage is paid to Lama Tsongkhapa.
다들 간다 강게 틀리면서 통관지 너도와 다 틀리면서 랑랑보 따이 로기 미스타완데 봐. 다 지딜라마 니모 지질라마 다 간단 장글라마 뚱가바다 다랑게 짜일라마 이용스도 바두스 바 아상오타야 좋아
자웨라마
단 장글라마 로상게 다랑게 짜일라마 이용스도 바두스 상오타야 좋아 안다 다게 닌카게 비미기 센트라 디 다도 슈바 디 다게 닌카 비미 디 다도 슈바 디 상오타야 좋아.
So next, merely by seeing the light rays of your exalted activities, the eyes of awareness, seeing the excellent path is illuminated, may the venerable guru. So here, together with Lama Tsongkhapa or Rinpoche, then with our venerable gurus, then we think they always abide at the lotus at my heart.
That's what did Pandakachi Hijanzo, since he did Masonga Korangipe, Lamala. That's what I do to conduct Nika Pimi Centrilape, Tai Lama and Jungle Lama Loza Tamba, Tita, the Shuba, yes, a digitoni, they go conduct sensitivity, Sombarwa.
So this homage is this homage at the beginning. This homage is paid by Gyel-tsen Gyel-tsen, the author of this text. So Gyel-tsen Gyel-tsen, while thinking that the Rinpoche, the Buddha Shakyamuni, etc., always abide at his heart and compose this text. So he composed this text thinking all together with his venerable gurus, Gyel Rinpoche, Buddha Shakyamuni. So all of them are abide at their heart, at his heart.
Rangilo, Lehi, Comba Pejita, Narang Beleshin, and Piazita, and Keba Chimbukita to Songura Najipe, Keba Chimbo Nape, Shuichi, and Nichi is the biggest no marwa. Takanda, Hina Mepea, Kanda Rangilo, Lehi Compeshita, Rangilo de Yakumpe, Bruchita, Hinji, Takanda, since you went to Digipenaro cheese and the Takunket and delay with it, that the Sugichedo, the sensation to the conduct on the children be young, Nashi. They could do that, and that to a yes from Dua.
So next is the promise to compose. So this verse is a promise to compose. So although others will not benefit from a discourse by one such as me, so those Mahayana practitioners, those Mahayanis, when they compose a text, that they will not, brag how good they are. So they will not brag about themselves. So they show humility. So he says that although others will not benefit from a discourse by one such as me. So then, for the sake of enhancing my mind, so in order to become more familiar with the excellent explanations, and because of having been exhorted by others, so there is others a request to compose this text, then for this purpose I shall compose this text.
Ati jila nga su de sungu duwa, dan jitin di ma shi tsinje jirwa, dan nga su jitin dila nga su migi chiwa chi lang sarwa, dan migi chiwa chi lang tsayi jila, dan kandi jina sege pen tsawa, rogo jawa zangji, pe susu pen tsawa ngo tuba zangji, tendi ji ka yi ma tsimba chi, rwa, dan tendi ji de jila ndigi mara sewa rwa, sege nemba zangji ma ziba, dan te jitin shimigi nyesa kandi hido, ndogundu shimi tena nyeba asanung tangure ese rwa, shimi tena kandi jin ndogundu, 요 로디다 대만하지 다 통마메바네 다다 바다 칸스진 코아 라마메반 코아데 등아 진체바 메반 용한데 니 싸와데 가르렌도 무슨 로아 다 간다 토 시제네 마냐메제 바다 베네 야네 양도 베 등아 뇽니 다 지워서 베 등이 지모체 바드니 뇽야데 싸와데 가르렌도 산 딜라 사망야 바탕고레 에세고 로아 소소 등아 뇽지야게 지진 싸와데 가발라 투누 오세 거다 딜라 사망 당고레 에세고.
Then it says, intelligent beings will have in their mind their welfare in future lives, not being content simply with acquiring food and clothing for the durations of this life, thinking what will become of me in future rebirths. Should wonder, I have circled powerlessly in the three realms of cyclic existence since beginningless time, continuously experiencing suffering. What is the root of this? So those intelligent beings, so refers to sentient beings who have who are born as a human being. So who are born as a human beings, then shouldn't be content with just getting food, getting clothing, and getting the possessions of these lives. One should think about future, the welfare in the future lives. So not just simply being contented with getting food and clothing of these lives. So then such intelligent beings should think. So I have circled in samsara powerlessly since beginningless time and continue to experience sufferings from the experiencing samsaric sufferings from the very peak of the samsara down to the lowest, the Vajra hell. So I have been experiencing sufferings in samsara. So even though wherever I experiencing samsaric sufferings. So what is the root of this? So what is the root of this? Root refers to the cause and conditions. What is the cause and conditions that makes me experience sufferings from the peak of the samsara and down to the Vajra hell?
방으로와 등이 진체면 방용한디 싸와데 가르레 사 대상 당고서 고로와 다 대상은 당데 간다 나 산노 문티네 단 거의 등아 내가 간다 등에 진체바 메바 용한데 다 좀메바다 찐메바 문티비 줄레시와 던리네 싸완네 레모도 사다 등원 잡아쳐 고로와 랑 등에 용한테 야미 조다 지라티네 등에 야미 찐 지라티네 등에 용와 야 문디비 줄라티네 니요 말해서 그러와 나 든디지 문도상 나디 상황하네 다 소소 등이 농고야 싸와데 가발 투문도스나 또 랑지 레다 녀무바 데니 레샤사 딩닝에 송고로와 레다 녀무바 다 레왕 라니 베 등인 드리지 농고도스 등인 드리지 농아데 레왕 그러지 다 레데야 투사다 가발스나 레데야 다 녀무바 녀무들 간다 야 우리 따가나 자와 마리바라 두고도와 오다 자와 마리바 오다 레다 녀무바 디니 렌도 사다 간다 주딩 예심바 디체고로 예세고로와.
So while thinking what is the root of this, then one must understand that the sufferings of cyclic existence that we are experiencing right now, it doesn't arise without a cause. It doesn't arise from a discordant cause. So rather they arise from their own causes, actions, and afflictions. So the sufferings that we are experiencing in samsara, it doesn't arise without a cause, nor it arises from a discordant cause. So what it means is, so when we experience the sufferings in samsara, there is a cause, therefore we're experiencing the suffering in samsara, and we experiencing a concordant cause. We're experiencing the result of a concordant cause, therefore we experience accordingly. So these suffering experiences, so if we trace it back, so where does it trace to? And it traces to karma and afflictions. So because of karma and afflictions, as it says here, they arise from their own causes, actions, and afflictions. So because of karma and afflictions, we experience suffering. So here the cause are identified, karma and afflictions. So this, if we further trace where does karma comes from, then it comes from, or it is produced by afflictions. So under the influence of afflictions. And if we further trace back, so where does this afflictions comes from? Then it comes from the root, which is ignorance.
간다 그 거기 희장도 간다 마 송디 다 간다 등인 중에 자와 간다 레다 녀모 바니라 투디 샤세 데 투기 비준세데 가르 자티데 가르 트란스단 공불도 기튼 소냐도 오세고로 공불도 rinchindi wala 다 지시 풍부지와 디지털한지 요세 다데 공불도 기테 송도와 오다 같이 희장도 간다 공지雄주도마 장고로 雄공불도 자티 소마 장고 다 간다 풍부랑 이주바 여반 짐바 여반 나시 여바 데시도 다 데라 간다 나 랑이 주반 짐바 요노그레스와 풍부 랑이 주반 짐바 여바 데시도 다 데레 난지 제고레스와 다 난지 요나 난지도 여와이나 다 난지 대왕 레산고레스 다 레산나 레드 가와산 고스나 다 덴디 레 난지 대왕 레사우디 다 메겐 도와리 둘라마 메게 냐와기다 든도 드니마 등에마 제와랑 징실 쓰르스나 당한지 대왕게 레산에 데미게마 제와랑이 데미게 등에데 용고레서 그러와 등에 용아 와다 자와디야 두사데 안다 레왕게 미게 등에 용고야 레데 한지 대왕 그러와 오든디 온도마 다 간다 등에 용아 자와라고 뜻레스 당 공부를 두기 자리야 장고.
So here the causes of the sufferings that we are experiencing is karma and afflictions. So here already identified. So in this, then the author quote Protector Nagarjuna that says in his precious garland that as long as the aggregates are misconceived, there will be the conceptions of an I. When there is conception of an I, there is also action. Due to that, there is rebirth. So to quote Protector Nagarjuna, in order to support this point, that the cause of the sufferings are actions and afflictions. So this is the one of the quotations. So another translations for this verse, which probably we are more familiar with, will be as long as there is grasping at the aggregates, there is grasping at self. When there is grasping at self, there is karma, and from it comes birth. So because of their grasping at the aggregates, then there comes grasping at self. And because of this grasping at self, because of having this grasping at self, then we create the karma by the power of this. Then we create the karma that bring forth the rebirth in 6 realms. So when we take rebirth in any of the 6 realms, then we experience sufferings. So why do we experience suffering in the 6 realms? Is because of the karma created by the power of grasping at self.
개판하지 간다. 다 미지만 코아다 내수를 등아 마치야기 데리레 사고 말이에서 그러와 데리 미기 개판하지. 개판도 속에 간다로와 개판도 속에 미기 다 간다 레다 녀무왕기 때 빈지 미기 년로라마 지역을 빈지 질레 사고 말해서 그러와 난 빈지 질레도 마사비 준세의 가르스나 덴디 단지 마리비 시와도 누구 말에 만루비 준세 가르스나 케바스와 디카스 봐봐 돈ing을 숨도 도비 다 파파트서라 자고도와 예 케바스와 디카스로와 돈ing을 숨도 봐봐 다 돈ing을 숨도 차이 신제라 다 단지 마리바 대왕기 빈지 질레 사고요 말 빈지 질레 사고요 말와 오 덴디 손자 대간다 개발나지 너 메시세와데 간다 빈지질레 사고 말해서 와 매게 다 아마 코알레 지역이 빈지질레 사고 말해서 뭐대 마사비 준세까지나 돈닝의 순도 또 되래서 돈닝의 순도 또 차디 단지 말이 비시와도 누구 말해서 대왕게 시와 말이 비시와도 들레 사와요 말해서 담보디 지시로와 대질레 개발 많이 봤을 때 마시고와
And another quotations from Nagarjuna's fundamental treatise on the middle way, and it says, the root of secular existence is compositional actions. Therefore, the wise do not create compositional actions. So the wise do not create projecting karma or throwing karma in samsara or in the three lower realms. So why do we say that the wise do not create throwing karma in samsara or in three realms? Is because they do not come under the control of the ignorance. They do not come under the control of ignorance, self-grasping. So why do we say that they do not come under the control of ignorance, self-grasping? Is because they realize directly emptiness. Because they have directly realized emptiness, therefore they do not come under the control of the ignorance, self-grasping. So since they do not come under the control of ignorance, self-grasping, therefore they do not create the projecting karma in samsara. You can see the flow of the reason, right? So why do we say that they do not create projecting karma in samsara? Because they do not come under the control. They do not fall under the control of self-grasping ignorance. So why do we say they do not fall under the control of self-grasping ignorance? Because they have directly realized emptiness. So because of this reason, they do not fall under the control of ignorance. And because of not falling under the control of ignorance, they do not create projecting karma or throwing karma that throw them in samsara.
나 대신 그 보니 케미데니 통실에서 들어오러와 다 되게 된다다 간다 개발나지 간다 빈지를 속 말해서 거러와 다 뒤셔서와 마소비 지제 동반지 되는 무슨도 통요래서 다 개발 많이 받아 소소 지원을 잡아요. 내가 소소 지원을 전에 다 소소 지원 되게 간다 다 미제 코알마 빈지를 사는 거래서 소소 지원 돈이 마동게로와 근데 소소 지원 저기 다 간다 코알마 빈지를 사는 거래 레 사바버 로와 근데 쉐바버스나 간다 개발 많이 비 소소 지원 저기 다 간다 동반지 되는 무슨도 마토와 손자 내 당지 머리가 되게 희망하던 거네. 내 희망하던 때문에 빈지를 사는 거래서. 내 레산을 때문에 코알마 다 응연도 솔마 지니 내 등에 빠도면 용구야 돼. 내 돈ing의 손도 마토와 디 로와 진지 내 간다 당지 머리가 돼 희망하던 거로와. 왜 데려서 거다. 단다데 케바 많이 봐서 돈이 마토 비서 지워 내라바 샤지로와. 데까스 봐봐데.
원순도 마토 봐야나 데 동이 마토.
다 돈이 마토 봐라지나 디로와.
That's all. So hence, the unwise are creators, the wise are not, because of saying thusness. So the unwise are creators. So the unwise refers to ordinary beings. So what does it mean by ordinary beings? Are those beings who do not realize emptiness. So because of not realizing emptiness, therefore they fall under the control of ignorance, self-grasping. And because of this, they create the throwing karma, and because of these creations of throwing karma that throws them in samsara, therefore they experience suffering. So the unwise refers to ordinary beings, those who do not realize emptiness, and those they are creators. They are creators of what? The creators of throwing karma in samsara.
아니오라 간다디 다 로베 파발레기 간다 시비사베 난시에서 로와 시비사베 난시에서 간다다 유나티지 된다 디레 간다 만소메 에로와 다 난시데 만소베 Koama Sipal, Jewalan Baina, the Nanshi de Mani Sanjani General, Nanshi Digi, Ma, Koa Sipal and Sanjano, Roa, Sanjano. Nanzo, Tabada, Dutchum to combat Toguyana, Ya, Nanshi Tilla Sochi Gene, a D1, Ya Dutchum to combat Roa, De, Denin Sanjani. This one, Ganda Nanshi de Nanzo, that kitchen more.
Dajumay de Namshi de Sojogamni.
Oh, Nanshi de Sochi Gene as a Dutchum to combat Tabi Combatogre. Nanshi de Sochi Majibaina, then Nanshi de Wangi, Kanda, Nanshi de Numu Atando, Koran by Numu Atando, De Wangi, the Mijama, Tanquala Chin, Nendola Chin, Wirua, was Sibara Chiagi, that Jushin one. What in this one's on, that Tanda Tendadi, a direction, Papa like Snadrua.
And Acharya Ayadeva says in his treatise of 400 stanzas, the consciousness that is the seat of secular existence. So what does it mean the consciousness is the seat of secular existence? So the consciousness, if we fix our consciousness, if we fix our consciousness or take care of our consciousness, then we will be able to achieve arhatship. So if we do not take care of our consciousness, then this consciousness will fall under the control of afflictions. Then because of this, then one will, and then it connects us to cyclic existence. So this consciousness connect us to cyclic existence if we do not take care of our consciousness.
Ijela Kanda, Lobe Dawatabakin, Omanjubal, Sonjadua, Lobe Dawatabakin, the Kanda, Lobe Dawatabakin, Omanjubal, Sinichin, Sinjin Swati, Takanda, Sinjin did the need you didn't get a shivudua, Sinjin did a need you did. Takanda, Sinjin Jitin Swata Kanda, Sinjirangi, later Nyamu Wangi Jiwalim Barua, Sinjin Jide, Sinjirangi, later Nyamu Wangi Jiwalam Bare, they're on the Nijin Jide Swata, they're running Sinjin Jinti, Tumu Lewang. The Kanda Rangi Lewang to work, the Kanda Nijin Jide Rangua, Lewang to Bari Esua, the Nijin Jide that Jijin Jide Nishiwudua de, you got to war.
Nugishina the G-Twingilero,
What Jintigile,
Simjingi G-Twingilero.
was Jintigile to rot, and the Nijin Jide, challenge Nijin Jide Roa. What in this one that Jijin Jide Sawa, that's Sinjiranik, let a young one with Chivaroa, Sinjiranik, let a young one with Chivares. What the did that?
So. Yep. So Acharya Chandrakirti says in his supplement to the Middle Way, the very diverse worlds of sentient beings and their environments are established by the mind itself. So here it talks about two things. One is the inhabitants, the sentient beings. Another one is the vessel or the world, or in other words, is their environments or the world. So one is sentient beings, another one is the vessel. So sentient beings, the worlds of sentient beings is established by the individual sentient beings, karma and afflictions. So like the sentient beings, they take rebirth in samsara due to their own karma and afflictions. And their environments, the vessels or the place, the world they born in, then is due to the sentient beings' shared karma.
Ateba Nanshi Kandara, Padi Dawatabagi, Dan Rua Malipa Kanda Lele Chibana, Somba Nanshi, Dan Hobby Inichio, Dan Zule, Lele Jitinansu Chies, Dan Hobby Inigo, the Har Somba Rua, Hobby Inig Kanda, in Jitin Nansoba, the Kandikin Chibu race, in Jitin Nansoba, Nanso Yura, Dan Jitin Kashipa, Dita, the Kadina Pe, Susola, Pe, Longi, Pison Soba. DG Yabonike. Kashipe Kadina Dunga Chanja Nondeke. Roa Dunga Chanja Nondeke. That indeed Kashipe Langola Chenike. Kangi Kashipe Dawa Jinjo Panchasan, Litin Chepachin, the Nitonike. Tape Pendoa Pendrapi Nanso Chigurua, Roa, Nyawa, Yida Tandon Rami Nanso Chepade. Ta Lele Chebare, Esokanda, Dua Nansobade, Le Nansoba, the Disabaltini Chebare, Esor. 다 레디아 간다 시비자와 차지투 로아 다 뇽바 차지도 소왕게 텔레 사바레 에세 간다로아 시비자와 차지투서와다 다 데차 콘조 나자 마리 태송 따와시 투투로아
대차 콩초
데차 콘조 나자 마리 태송 따와 데투로아
대숨 타와 나소. Also, quote Acharya Vasubandhu to support this point. So he says the various worlds are produced from actions. So the various worlds or the various sentient beings are produced from actions. For example, few are born with excellences, born with a lot of enjoyments, a lot of happiness, a lot of excellences, or the object of enjoyments. So some are born with how to say, very little of resources, with a lot of sufferings, and some are born with 8 leisures and 10 endowments. So there are various types of sentient beings. So where does these various types of sentient beings produced, or from where they produce? They are produced from actions. So, and then he continues to say the root of cyclic existence is the 6 subtle increases. So this root of cyclic existence is the 6 subtle increases. So what are these 6 subtle increases? They are attachment, anger, pride, ignorance, doubt, and view. So attachment, anger, pride, ignorance, doubt, and view. So these are the 6 subtle increases. They are the root of cyclic existence.
이제서 준주래 예수 전부 교활하게 준주 위용지 송고도와 다 간다 된다 도도 쉬어야 나서 레렌지데 지데 나서바다 레왕게 제나 윤세대로로와 다 준주래 간단데단 지바 당지 등에 빠다면 봐서 다 준주고 대화로 송고 다라나 지바다 등안 중아 랑게 생기 제바레서 다가 랑게 제바레서 랑게 생기로와 라나 간다 지바 아다 등에 나 서바 유야데 랑게 생기베 대왕게 정발에 스테데 인용무 왕도 손에 디바 나 서바사네 대왕게 뜻동에 용발에세 로아 데 진주부터 소정도와 야트 좀 효하게 근데 동아 빠도면 반용하데 신의 종아래 근데 신의 종아서다 쓰고 손발스나 양다바 상지게 손자도 오세요 근데 로아 양다바 좀에 상지게 또 손자도 오세요 다 상지시도 봐도 손자도 로아
And then Shantideva, in his engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds, also says the propounder of the truth has taught. So the propounder of the truth refers to Buddha, Shakyamuni. So has taught that in this way, all fears and the immeasurable sufferings arise from the mind. So the fears that we are experiencing, the immeasurable sufferings that we are experiencing, all comes from the mind.
다대지래 야 간다 진주고 지랑래 저와 강기 취지 템포 초스긴도와 어디니 말이다 대지 어디 간다 다 취지 님보대 간다 신지 상완의 신고래서와 신기 상완의 신지 간다 스테데 게이쇼란 로고도가 마게이쇼란 로고도 세데 가와 로고니 데 야부중에 송고래서 거와 좋아 세데 야부지 다부제 거래서 신지 싸워다 마시나 신지 내가데 천 하고 먹어봐 개와 슈란 누군다 등에 슈란 누군데 대하 먹어봐 수수기 대와 되고요 내가 대와 토반 대바다 등에熊반 대바 딘디지 상데나 세드 가반 누군데 따지 마시바이나 대 따다 두두고 말이에서 그러 수수기 디지드 비스소바도 두두고 말이 대 대매라 봐 간다 된다 자원이 두두고 말이에서 그러 두두고 말이 간다 생기 내다데 신에 신비토네 대 생데 간다 로아 템바데 히잉기 생데 레바 존아 렌시기 티네 생데 야보 템보시네 냐고레서 다 간다 생데베 녀몽바다 라소바 희망던 로마치바 생데 냐마치바 마냐바 야 템바 히잉기 템보치네 소와이나 어디 데소소기 대와 dundewana dewa dutugure donga shon pa pon dewena da donga pon tugure esor.
So he says those who do not understand this secret of the mind, the great objective of the Dharma, so wander aimlessly, even though they wish to attain happiness and destroy suffering. So those who do not understand the secret of the mind, which is the essence of the Dharma. So in other words, it's those who don't understand their mind, their own mind. So those who do not understand their own mind, whether their mind is tending towards virtuous or tending towards the virtue or not, then if we do not take care of this mind, so if we do not take care of this mind, we do not understand the secret of the mind, we do not take care of our mind, then even though we wish for happiness and we wish to destroy the sufferings, then since we do not check our mind, we do not investigate our mind, we do not understand our mind, then even though we wish for it, we will not be able, our wish will not be fulfilled. So how to fulfill the wish to attain happiness and destroy suffering is to take care of our mind. How to take care of mind? To take care of our mind with mindfulness and vigilance. So this is how we should take care of our mind. So we should take care of it with mindfulness and vigilance. So with these two, mindfulness and vigilance, then it restrain our mind from afflictions. So because of restraining away, restraining away from afflictions, then we will be able to achieve what we desired, happiness, and destroy suffering.
ati kanda shibuji songdrowa ngazo ngene shina dabu jia de se chi rangre ngazo dabu jia chi ma de yo mare se chi bo de ya bo dabu jia tu ba ina ta kanda denge yum ma jia digi so tu gure de chi duya de digi so tu gure kanda rowa so so ge kan de ba yo ba de se de dabu jia na so tu gure so se chi bo de rowa ta kanda so so la mande ba nan so ba pa ka ya do se de dabu jia na ka tu gure se wa rowa what the did the dodo the answer the sanji kumba toguna send the tapu gene do grace do dutch be kumba toguna send the tapu yabu gene do grace.
So here he says, therefore I should hold well and guard well this mind of mine. So he brings out a very important message that so there is only one thing to take care of, that is our mind. So there is only one thing to take care of, that is our own mind. So if we take good care of our mind, then if we want happiness, we will get it. If we don't want suffering, we want to destroy the sufferings, we will destroy it. We will be able to destroy it. And what we desire, we will be able to get it. And what we don't, things that we don't want, then we will not experience it. And if we want, even if we want to achieve the state of arhat, if we want to become an arhat, then by taking care of our mind, we will be able to become an arhat. Even if we want to achieve the state of enlightenment, we want to become Buddha, it depends on taking care of our mind.
Yimedewa njipa nansobate nansobata ta susugun deba karayona de dumatuba susugu guya deda dumatuba deda tawa dus samada juk karla tini chin karla tini su yungwersena ta dipa nansoba sabale gosunji dipa sabal tini te kanza dunga nansoba semba yimedewa njita dungi nansoba dus susugu kan guya dumatuba 로 소소게 내가 여바지 내 같이 깔리 같이 지나 두마도에 왜네 진짜 갈래었으나 다 디바 나서 봐서 딜이 좀 말해서
And physical suffering, mental unhappiness, there are various kinds of fear, as well as separation from what one desires, arise from committing misdeeds. So the physical and mental sufferings and all kinds of fears, as well as separate from what we desire. So no matter how hard we try to achieve the things that we desire, then we couldn't get it. Then all these arise. What is the cause and conditions of this? That is committing misdeeds.
다티 제랑안도 로아 다수주긴 드버 베 연디 피순 소바 소소게 롱지 피순 소바 로아 대소소게 데버 두구야 가르나 데 피순 소바 두투바 로아 다사 소소게 샤와 잠보 간디 주나 소소게 두투바다 니바 여바 데버 피순 소바 소소게 롱지지 여바 이도 타마데 Gyel-tsen karlatini yunguri esna, di songudwa, sanji samaba tu jiage, soba pisun soba piyanjo, ruwa, sosoge, ndrebu lonchi pisun soba njuyanjo da, denda senam la chimbo sane, gi shawa, duwa digi, senam la chimbo sane di yunguyo re eswa, ruwa, gi, ila sabi gi kanshi bisru di logudwa. 다 간다 수수 개와 고송지 기 샤와 야부 두네 데스나 자침보사 데스나 자침보사와 대왕게 데스수 피수사와 참아도 디 왕이 용거래 해서고.
Then he continues, he says, by performing virtues intended in the mind, wherever I go, due to those merits, I shall be honored with the excellences that are their results. So the results, like the excellences of good qualities, the result of having great wealth, being able to achieve what we desire, have the ability to do good things, to do good deeds, and what is the cause and conditions of all this, and that is by performing virtues by our three doors, through our three doors. So our three doors, our body, speech, and mind, by performing virtue, we accumulate merits, and these merits is the cause and conditions for us to experience the excellent result or the result of excellences, such as great wealth, good qualities, and having being capable, etc.
이제 디파시바 딘데 찬스 인도와 다 디올로로와 다 디파시바라 대완되자 다 수수급이나 대와 디치 피수서바 구여선 된 누구로와 다 진짜 간디나 수수급이 대완되바다 등이 문제바 지승 차디로와 지승래 근데 순간 수수급이 대완되시인데기라 그 리와 요순각이 내가 돼다 먹이 샤와 내가 디파사가 내가 장장지래 구야드네 대와토 고바치로와 대와지 토 고바치 뭐 제야 라레 따야라 다 리마 유순가게 응악고니 밀라 칸다 진탐마 지줄라서바 다 리지고네 칸다 밀라 대바다 슈발라서바 든디기 신제 소체발라서바 네바체발라서 다 이지고네 베 나세 네셀라서바 든디기 베 망부 지비왕게 데 소소게 대와 네시가 든디 제대오이나 데 칸다 데디지나 다 소소라페나 디치 피순서바 덴디 대왕게 디파 차침보사네 데 디파 되게 소소라페 구야게 디치 피순서바 데 내가 서로 그래서 봐 덴디 고스모지 저방 엠바다 multibi peroa shawang emba de suwangi de sosorape 디치 피순서바 데 인종으로 그래 소소게 산지지 공부터야라 되게 빠치 제그래 다치비 공부터야라 되게 빠치 제로 그래 그러와 소소게 센데다보이나 소소게 내용lon지 피스소바지 lon지고나 야 되게 용으로 그래서 그러와 되게 용으로 그래 와 대 간디 소소 디지 간디지나 데 내가 손으로 그래서 간다.
Although one who commits misdeeds wishes for happiness, wherever he goes, those misdeeds will completely destroy him with the weapons of suffering. So all sentient beings are the same in terms of wanting happiness and not wanting suffering. So we are same in this in this manner. So however, when we perform actions, then here makes the difference. So through our three doors, our body, speech, and mind, then those who commit misdeeds, for example, they are physically they create misdeeds such as beating others or harming others, and verbally they tell lies, they say harsh speech to others, and mentally they harbor the covetousness and the harmful intentions. So because of creating those misdeeds, so even though they wish for happiness, it will only destroy their happiness. So whatever happiness they have, it will destroy it. So don't mention that they wish for it. So even the happiness they have by creating those negativities, they will destroy their happiness. And even if they wish to become arhat, then by committing misdeeds, it will destroy it. It will create the obstacles for them to achieve arhatship and the state of enlightenment.
That is just see Bimi Nimbo near Jindua. That in Marua. Or that dig Tanda Kanda de Kanda Jayin Din, Dewashi Visi and was a Chanju Simbarua, Chanju Simba. That Kanda so Chanju Simbage, Chanju Saint Gilachi Guyona. That Chanju Saint Gilachi, Chanju Simba trade at Siguyona. The Sanji Mason Disola Kanda, Tessan Gonsu, Yanni Tsugi, the Tambo Tebachi, Roa, then also Casingoma Mabushizaroa, Tambo Tebachi, the Tejung Hero, the Delatine, Samba, Sambatine, Sanju Hero, Delatine Gon, the Gombatine Gonju Hero. What that Disola, Tessan Gonsu, Tsugi the Chevi, Chibi Gizawa, Digi, the Jaise, Chanju Simba, Chundugure Roa. The Chanju Saint Gila Chewi, the Jaise, Kanda Chanju Simba Chadwar. Chanju se jila machi baina de chanju simba chaya yomare. Chanju se jila kadi chesuna de chanju simba chalu. Chanju se jila kadi mesna de chanju simba mayimba chalu. Roa.
So as a result of virtue, the spiritual children of the Sugatas, so the spiritual children refers to bodhisattvas. So bodhisattvas are those who have generated a bodhicitta in their mind. So how the way to generate a bodhicitta in their mind is through listening, contemplating, and meditating or meditating. So this I have mentioned many times in the past that by engaging in listening, then there arise the wisdom reason from listening. Then we engage in contemplations. Then that follows by a wisdom reason from contemplations. Then we engage in meditations. Then that follows by wisdom reason from meditations. So by going through the process accordingly, then one having generated bodhicitta in one's mind stream, then that being is called a spiritual children of the Sugatas or a bodhisattvas. So a beings in whose mind a bodhicitta is generated is called a bodhisattva. So on the contrary, then is not a bodhisattvas. Like the beings in whose mind bodhicitta is not generated, then is not a bodhisattvas. So whenever this bodhicitta is destroyed or no longer exists, then that being is no longer to be called a bodhisattvas.
Hinji Jebi Baba Maliba Hinda Nyam Tawase, Indoa, that Dinima Yua, that Digi Tanda the Kanda Dirua, that also be Sinji Kashiko, machine Papa Suma Shidugua, Papa Machine, the Kanda Sendua, Papa Shi, Rua, the Hajang Pe, Machine Kanda, Kalastoni, the Kanda member Metatani, to Chigudua. That indeed when it's time or Sinji machine to say Ganda Ma Papa Shi, Dungin Honchi. They Ganda Hachang Metsabot Sola machine, that color switch the Metatan. They didn't that Ganda Sanshupe, Chutsabot and Dikanda, Yakunjo, the Nipa, Sinji Machine. That Luni Papa Koya, the Pukoya, and Dikichi, the Dungin Nuts about the Nuni, the Shidan, Shina Shiguat, the Shidan Mandawa, Dungin Nuts of Nuga, the Yumudua, Dungin Nuts of Shidan Mandawa. What that in the Hajape, Mechi Mumbai, the Ratu in Dung, that do be Pita, and Dula Sabat Sopa, that Shatum, Mazana Kamba, the Lavatu, the Minaso Sidan, Manda Senate doing what you would. What that is not be Judge Sagila Sabat and Dipe, that Draminaso Dingin all that, so the Jew, that McGee. Shaw nearby, Drabi Nasujini, that didn't want to conduct Susan Deputy in your that is what some of the new idea that Jim member, the Jim member, the Muntimbi Jutanichi, Sawani, Maria Segura, Maria's co Jujin Latini, Yumbare, that Jujin the source Rangipe, and lay the Sasaris Roa, lay the Sasaris.
As a result of many non-virtues, my condition will be wretched due to my skin being ripped off by the henchmen of Yama. So many types of sentient beings, many sentient beings, they experience different types of sufferings. So before they die, their skin being ripped off, then sometimes the sentient beings such as fish, for example. So before they die, then we start to we start to boil the water, then in order to cook them. So right in front of them. So before they die, then we already boil the water. So and yeah, we even boil the hot water in order to get the fur, the fur from those animals, for example, in order to get the meat of those animals. And even if we use different types of knives to cut them into different sizes, into different pieces. We even chop off their hands, their limbs, their legs, etc. before they die. So many sentient beings, they die experiencing different degrees of sufferings. So what is the cause for many different types of sentient beings experiencing these different types of sufferings? What is the cause for them to experience different types of suffering? And it is because of committing misdeeds. So the misdeed or the non-virtue is the cause for them to experience the result, which is suffering. So it comes back to the previous point that we mentioned previously. Result do not come. We do not experience the result without a cause, and we do not experience the result from a discordant cause. So because of having created those misdeeds, that is the cause, then we experience the result, suffering.
tenri sonza te kanda nganso pe shawa ina mini girwa mini gipina mirire ge rare se ba ina mini girwa mirire ge rare se sia ge rachi ba yin ba jirwa ra yin ba chi ba yin jirwa ta mini ge rani re se ba ina ta michi ge rate kama ngala lansa shiba ko ketu ne shiba se ba chi dang ta michi ge rate ta chusu ni sonla shima tu ba 당보 강바도 라바도 데 바바시 등디 시베 등에 나서 나지 카투 마세바지 보다 등디시네 주세 송제 하 등디 등에 노지 바이나 다 카투 까망아 랑사 시자베 두바 티지 총아리 해서고 코 비게 등도도 베 소체마도 주르모지 등에 용거리 다 세약 라치 라임바 지바치아레데 이나 세당 만다기 토네 코라니 디바사야게 삽치숑 전부 요래서고와 삽치 전부 요래서고 오 등디 송상 데 간다 저당 라시비 디바드 니발 여와지로와 라시비 디바 여르데 이나 디바라 체중 다 삽치중 근데 제바 쇼시 여르세로와 마소 난지 베승지 또 전부 랑부지스야라 디바 치그레스 가 두랑지 세발 디바 티지 총그레스 디 시그로와 디 요레 근데 시 디바 체중 라고 해 준세 가스나 랑체 또 전부다 카두 힘마도바 진림보 등에 용네 세과 두랑다부지다 카두 세자바지 보다 든디게 에 제바 왕게 때간다 디바 차치레 사야 지당 가서 소제바 지바로와 두동세나 소제바레 랑체세나 소제바레 소제바 지바 지소레
So to give you an example, two people kill a goat each. So each of them kill a goat. So because of killing a goat, then they create misdeeds. So in terms of whether they create a misdeeds or not, they are the same. So the two persons, since they kill a goat, they create negativities or misdeeds. So the first one killed the goat by cutting the throat. So the goat died in just 5 minutes. So the second person do not kill the goat immediately. So first chop off their limbs and then rip off their skin. So because then only they slowly dies. So they die after 2 or 3 hours. So they experience the sufferings for 2 or 3 hours. So because of this, the degree of sufferings differs in these two types of methods. Therefore, the first person who killed the goat and died in 5 minutes, then though he created negativities, the negativities is smaller compared to the second person who killed the goat and the goat died after 2 or 3 hours. So in terms of the degree of sufferings, the object experience, it also causes a difference in the sufferings cause a difference in the misdeeds one creates. So similar to we say that if sentient beings have a bigger body, then by killing such sentient beings, then one creates a bigger or greater negativities compared to sentient beings we killed who has smaller bodies. For example, one kill an elephant, another one kill a mosquito. So why do we say that killing an elephant also creates a greater negativities? Is because they do not die immediately. So it dies. They die slowly compared to mosquito. If we kill it, then they die immediately. So in terms of this, then in terms of this, or from this perspective, then the negativities also differs in terms of their intensity.
그런데 등기 송사로와 당가서 지나 시야산이 여반이나로와 시야산이 여반은 간 나지도 주요 지나 소소기 사강 정보들 디상가서 두절라 자 쇠바든지 카드베든지 세바 나바이나 다 미시 대체도 벤냐 미시 세바다 든지 무드스도 미시 세바든 용도와 카드 세네베 소소 칼라서야 되데 사와이나데 미샤 차로 거래 데베 네바 사청보래로와 다 나지 소소기 든지 마지바 샤 사와이나야 디스 자고요로와 디스 자고요래 어다도 솔 제바 시비죠래 다 나지 닝고 mambo 시사이 샤 세바 코시스네 다 카도 냐 소소 가시기 추노는 냥인데 사기인데 들이 러나데 카도 세고요로와 아데네 에페 네바 쳔모래로와 다 소소 샤 사야 냐샤 사야 지바 임바지라 데콜 소소기 든디 미시 깜츠는 소체 지바이나데 네바 쳔모로와 그다도 자막에 소소 나오게 개쳔보시라 예스와 샤 사바지라 소소기야 디바 차쳔보시든데 많이 바치 로와 다 샤사노 소소기페 간투치도 사자지 제거에 개쳔보리로와.
So these I also mentioned many times before that those who eat meats, so who are not a vegetarian. So when you go to restaurants, then how say you have to be very careful. You do not order food. You do not order food. How say you do not order this. You do not order to kill the sentient beings and then to cook them. So, like for example, if you go to a restaurant, they like to serve raw, fresh meats. So, like for example, if you go to a Japanese restaurant, they always serve sashimi, right? Those fish they serve fresh, raw, and then you order while they are still swimming in the aquarium, then you just can go and pinpoint at one that you like, and then you say, oh, I want to eat this one, or I want to please cook this for me. So then if you or besides fish, there are also many seafoods as well also become, and you order to kill certain types of seafoods or certain being, then it becomes intended meat. So intended meat is like you ordered to kill it, then it becomes an intended meat. And because of this, then one's negative, the negativities one creates will be greater than not ordering a specific meat. Yeah, you can say a specific meat or intended meat. So if you do not specifically order to kill a sentient beings and eat it, then though you create negativity as well, but comparatively it will be a smaller negativities. So two persons, just like the example that I mentioned just now. So two persons eat fish. So however, you have to be very careful not to create greater types of negativities.
다디 원가서 데 라서와 단 거의 내지 단계랑지 레지 레니 인터넷 중앙에서 딘도와 참대 딜레서와 로와 단 거의 내지 강가도 간다 랑지 레다 너무 인터넷 중앙에서 데 좀바다 너다지 산지 그마 송제지 간다 너지 군데 mambola to the lenchi maiba te yang jope doji gunde mambola sonja do si roa that the ngazopa junse khungji roa junse pa jadin to changgo roa wo ni sonja do sin ta ka chigi jansu to sogo doa kanda koi ni ji kanga kanda lene ji tole chumbare de chumbada sanji gi ma do da ji gunde da chiba to sala mambola to si lenchi maiba mambola to sonja do si la roa.
Yeah, so Gyel-tsen Gyel-tsen, the author of this text, continued to quote that from many sutras and tantras as well as their commentaries. So said not only once, but again and again about the environment, the world and its inhabitants, sentient beings, arises through the force of its causes, of its own causes, actions and afflictions. So to quote and to quote and then to support this point.
내가 나시 대신도에 대참들이서 대참 대신도에 대참들 다 간다 대바선 인데 다로와 다 장주신게 대바래 니대지 대바랑 제시 대바 그래서 간다 인데 다 장주 신비 연대데 다 장주기 세다 장바 닌지 그래서 참아로와 다 상제시 공바 그래서 참아다 간다 난가 기 연대라 얘네 중바레스로 난가 기레 사바딜라 티니 중바레스 다 대나시 네대지 다치고 도바터야 로아 이제 다치고 도바 상황 도바 딜레치야 조페 나 랑지 난가지 인데 게센데 소지지네 토바 장자레스 다 랑자기 연제 다치고 공바 토바이나 다가레스 로아 랑게 센데 소지지네 게센 되게 왕게 저 토바레스 또 송다 콘데지 탄지 자와 센이레스 다 랑게 센데 소지지네 땅 로아 미게만 코알라 마치기나 센데 소지지 모토 왕게 미게만 코알라 체르 로아 다 다시 공도 시사래 다 센데 소지 제방게 야보지 제토바나다 대파 송가게 랑라야 야슈야도 센데 소지 제네 제바레세 다 딜 카두티 송도 하러와.
And he says, likewise, it has been taught that all the excellent qualities of the paths and grounds of the three vehicles, the resultant Buddha field, etc., so arise solely from their own causes, wholesome, virtuous minds. So those excellent qualities of path and grounds of the three vehicles. So the three vehicles are Bodhisattva vehicle, hearer vehicle, and solitary realizers vehicle. So the excellent qualities of the path and ground of these three vehicles arise from fixing our mind. So arise from a cause that is fixing our mind to generate a virtuous mind. So if we able to fix our mind, then we will be able to generate the path and ground of the three vehicles in one's mind. So if we are unable to fix our mind, then we will be born in samsara.
이제 가서 데려 간다. 다 로아. 다 데려 간다. 센데 신주기 지킨데 해봐도 개침보리에서 다 대참 딜리로와. 다 센데 신주기 개침보시라리에서 딜리고. 강한서 데 센데 신주 개침보시오데. 강한서 세세와. 아무튼마 로징에서 다시로와. 세세와다. 이세와. 세다. 이다. 넘버 해봐서 나시세. 된다 민난다 미송레고도와. Sinta ida nangis nanda mission lebuwa roa ta teso kanda dengi binesla kanda sinta ida nangis zosi zu denji se du so chi song je roa ndi ji la ye ni no ta ngaso de so ma dashi ji ma hue roa sense wa yi so number ke ba se so ma dashi ji roa
So hence, it is of utmost importance to understand the modes of minds and mental factors. So it's very important to understand minds and mental factors. So before I talk about mental factors, first I would like to talk about minds. So minds, then, so mind, mentality, and consciousness. So these three are synonymous. They're different names, but having the same meaning. So they are synonymous. So even though they are synonymous, however, from etymological from the explanations of word, then it differs. So there is a little bit difference in terms of their explanations of word. So this I would like to talk about.
Kanda nganso sense wade ta didipa bacha sobina sense nganso tida katupa dodo jirwa bacha sobina sense didashi rwa da dashi didishpa te jihid manga jelle shorwa bacha sobina sense tu la weres kanda rwa tambuchila.
So to explain the word mind, so mind is the accumulations of latent potencies. So mind refers to the accumulations of potencies.
Kanda yutobi shawashibina yis la wora yutobi shawashibina yis la
yutobi shawade
yutobi shawashibi yis la wora da kanda de hinda nindo wa kari niga ma den leve dream o de 다 당부 들어와 다 님바 유튜브 샤와시비 이세 이기 다시
So, and the etymological explanations of mentality is that which functions to cognize its object. So there are two, etymological explanations. So for mind, then it refers to the accumulations of latent potencies, and then for mentality is that which functions to cognize its object.
들어와 다 간다 유지 넘버 소소시비는 넘버 해봐 대시 나시 들어와 유지 넘버 소소시비는 나 해제 대시 숨바 들어와
And consciousness. So sometimes is consciousness. Sometimes then in bracket they say main consciousness or primary consciousness. So in short, then most of the time they will translate it as consciousness. So consciousness is that which knows differentiated aspects of its object. So consciousness that which knows differentiated aspects of its object.
다시 공동아 된 주시 두고나 지부지를 노아도 공부스 주고네 바차스 비센스 담부 들어와 다 니바데 디디레 다시 공시고나 바차스 비센스 텐도 주비나 이스와 텐도 주비나 이스 다 템바 주비나 넘바 해바세 다 다시 니바데 다 다시 티티스 셔바기도와 다도 다시레 다시 땅으로와 땅아서 제바드마 지르 쪽으로 와
Yeah, so this is the brief explanations of words, mind, mentality, and consciousness. So there is an alternative explanations of the words. Then mind refers to the accumulations of latent potencies, mentality refers to the basis, and consciousness refers to what is based on it. Yeah, so I will stop here, and next class I'm going to continue from thus I shall compose a brief presentations of mind and mental factors. So from here, next week I'm going to start from here. So before we end our class, if you have any questions, you can ask now. Here's a Mari Gijala.
다 들이 들어오면 등어서 들이 대샤나 뭐에 싫어와 대참하게 간다 다베 후다 바다 로종 남바데 니 타바네 투지치다 가서 쉬어야 있어와 가서 쉬어야 있어.
Yeah. So if you do not have any questions, then I will proceed to do dedications. So I'm very pleased, and then I also encourage you all, exhort you all to continue to put effort in studying, in studying this text.
이다 맞서 센시주도 개침고 시다지레스 다 참아 딜라 떠나야고 디우리 되이나 문진에 떠나야고 이대로 시로와 맞어 센시주도 답에 디세 개침고 시다 차리고 다 간다 로와 다 맞어 공사 초게 가디나 맞어 센시주도 절바 미시게 떠나된다 로티 제고야다 로중 제고야 될까 양세서 남고로와 어다데베 개침고 차디 근데 손자 다 참아게 떠나된에 문진에 맞어 뭐 티찬주데 양자 문진에 마티시 따야데 개침고 치라로와
Yeah, so I'm very pleased that you continue to pay attention to the teachings. So, however, you should also you should also spend some time to study, to revise what we have already studied before, and then continue to put effort in studying these great texts, very important texts about mind and mental factors. So, and His Holiness Dalai Lama always emphasized the importance of teaching and studying mind and mental factors. That's all.
와, 다 투지 체스 데 참아로. 다 드리 딜레 샤나로와.
That's all. Thank you. So I will stop here.
Yeah.
We do dedication.
당아도 드리 에베 게이자와 안가서 돌링기 게이자와 딜라티니 다 간다 공서 정거 정보 초고 제비 다 땡지 진짜 당바 사쇼 가는 수요바나 고세 땡진 대바리 쇼근데 제바다 다 제바다 가서 가딩 하바다지 저질라마 세바름 보치 저 간다 구체 인도 대진 제반래 쇼kun도 제가 된디지 오아지야 상호 당부도 당이로와
So we do dedication. We dedicate the roots of virtue accumulated, especially through these Dhamma discussions, may be the complete cause for the upholders of the Buddha's teaching, represented by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And then may His Holiness the Dalai Lama live eons long, and may his enlightened good health, and may his enlightened activities spread to all 10 directions. And in particular, we also dedicate these roots of virtue to our beloved Guru, Akevji Lama Zopa Rinpoche. May Rinpoche live eons long, good health, and may his enlightened activities spread to all 10 directions.
이게 이제 단다 만서배 잔린들라배 니야게 배 강에 쥐 심바지레 되르 근데 잔린들라바 니야게 봐 뉴도파 도야게 배 참아 모아치는 상황도 시스로 제와 치를 토마메 반 다다바사비 게이 자완들라 때네 배 간다 니야게 봐 뉴도 도야 뭐 드리지 상황도 아니스.
We also dedicate the roots of virtue that I've accumulated since beginningless time. May this pandemic be ceased immediately.
이제 생각도 단답에 만투다 메게다 철로 라서바트니 사용 라서바트니 망부지는 것도와 나도 상황파 뉴도도야 디치를 받지 와인스와.
We also dedicate the roots of virtue that we have accumulated and may be the complete cause for wars, conflict, famine, flood, earthquake be ceased immediately.
이제서 간다 만투다 니야게 진지 베다 신제 망부지 치는 통로와 시스로와 오다든지 만투다 미게 대 진지 단 중앙시 내발어서 대 진지 베 신제 망부지 도스 다 동바레 다 신제 대 최베 신제 치는 내세는 세코와 토민사베 디바바 다니 그 상지지 공부야 뉴도 토야다 도스 상황와 제진이로와.
And due to pandemic and these wars and conflict and the 4 elements, many sentient beings pass away. So may it be the complete cause for their negativities be pacified immediately and quickly achieve the state of enlightenment.
이제 가서 이제 단지들의 뜻 단지 공부하다 보셔. 내가 되어서 통을 기 떠원들 뜻 이제 단지들 산지 공부하다 보셔. 내가 도지 충지 상당히로.
And we dedicate the roots of virtue accumulated since beginningless time, and may it be the complete cause for all sentient beings to achieve the state of enlightenment as quickly as possible.
아기 전에 사비에 교환데 띵단로와 군라 강데 제보 지진로 산도 예면이 모리노 세제 요 장주 선조는 로제 마지 바나 지지지 제반양 바메 공내 공동 배와 요 리니다 잠배 바에 지장 첨바다 공도 선도 대야 되게 대다 근데 제소다로 이완데다 단계라도 뭐 따와를 제 마지 바나 지지지 제반양 바메 공내 공동 배와 효人民大瓦人民在马街巴拿去经济接班样板 5年功德白话学，徒子常年讲究这一个已经教不也开始到不的说的不也那个。那时候这些电到家的说，你点看的偏点嘛的吧，看的你也上边也能搞这什么，等这样子，说啊，那时候现在的路就。东年年节从头就觉了，七节三节刚节点点就强拿帮忙给这个，说那时候现在连着就有朋友性格的偏大的话嘛，连就也是说天天讲的下边身体报道的就去。Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Gisela. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Geshe-la, Ken-la, everyone.
Gisela.
Thank you, Gisela.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gisela.
Thank
you, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Good night, everyone. Good
Good
night.
night. Good night.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
Gisela.
Hmm?
Thank you.